I got recognition from Ministry of Defense production, helps of Army Force or Armed Forces. There are a number of grants. So supporting organizations, there are supports starting from 10 lakhs to 50 lakhs, 1 crores, 2 crores, 5 crores, and even till 7 crores.
Yeah, agreed completely, Sai. So those are some really great points that you shared, especially about having a focused goal and especially creating like realistic short-term goals, because that is something that even I have been doing since a long time, of having like short-term goals, because people generally think that if I have to, for example, become a product designer, say, or a industrial product designer, that is a very long-term goal. You might want to get the relevant formal education, then learn from experiences and share with others, and that will seem like a mountain of a task to achieve. But setting it realistically as to, I'll do my bachelor's in this, do I want it to be focused in a particular field so that I can apply my skills there? So having those small, and actually I think that that is a difficult part as well. So to break down that big problem into small realistic parts, and that will be different for everybody, because everybody is different and they have their own way of um, doing some things, different background knowledges, so they can skip those things and work upon things that they do not know. So really wonderful things that you shared. And also go ahead.
Just to add on this, one last thing I want to add: if you want to be a product designer, to give, don't see, if you want to be in any field, take inputs from person in that field. So if you want to be unconventional field, don't take a person from input from a conventional field. Just to give an example, if you want to be a cricketer, don't take inputs from a banker who is working in the bank. No doubt both are correct in that sense, but the inputs are required. What to be a cricketer is different from what suggestions a bank or person working in a bank will do. If you want to be in banking sector, no doubt that inputs will help. So that is also helpful. Like I can relate to that. If I want to take input from someone being running a company now, if I take an input from a person who is working as a in some higher position in the company, his inputs will be great, but that will not be helpful for me, because in my case there is limitation of resource, there is limitation of manpower, there is limitation of number of things, and I need to work faster. So what I will do, I'll take a inputs from a person who is in the startup field, who has done that. That is the best inputs you can have, because he has gone through the same challenges what you are going through. Okay, so always take an input from a person who has done that before you. It is like what I try to repeat. If you want to go into 12th standard, you will take a person who has already passed 12. And recently, not someone with like me who has passed 12 10 years back. The syllabus could also be different for me. So that is always, so take inputs, to summarize, take inputs from a person who has done that before you and in that nearest history, not about someone who has done 20 years before. Because and conventional inputs will not be helpful for unconventional path.
Yeah, that is an important
so
point.
That is what.
Because that will actually, so it is basically that the person should also, it is not necessary that you do everything from scratch. You can learn from others' experiences and then build upon from there, and that will take you to much more greater heights, because you will not be spending time in doing things the wrong way which somebody has already done. You can use their learnings and then build upon that.
Right. And the next part in that, like just in the same line, if I to add, always someone asks, I also wanted to do something on my own, run a company on my own, but I'm not getting that guts feeling or not that confidence to do it. This can be done for every field. Okay. Like if you want to be anything like, just imagine, I can relate because of product design, but I can relate to like a dancer, or because my wife is a qualified dancer, so I can relate to that. If you want to be in that path, to be a dancer or to be in something, just imagine you are that and try to go and take a small stage. And if you can do it, even at a small stage, maybe in your housing society, if there are some competition, something of a small stage, if you can do that, that will give you a feeling of how you feel of doing that. And that feeling is more important than anything. And if you feel good, I can do it more. Now I want to do it. It is same thing with running a startup. Okay. What I done before jumping in totally full time into this, take a minute step. Just imagine using your pocket money. Pocket money can be 500 rupees or even 100 rupees. Anything it can be. It's not a pocket money is something what you have for your enjoyment. It can be watching a movie can be an enjoyment for a person. It can be anything. Okay, it's like you want to do something for your enjoyment. So this is also something what you want to do for your, like, just to get that feeling of enjoying. Yes, I can do that. Okay, it can be anything. I started with 5,000 rupees. Okay, I saved 5,000, and that was my pocket money. And then I told, like, say, I will, as a person, I will use this. If I lost it, it's not fine. I will think I enjoyed it moving, going to some water park or something for a day one, and enjoying it there. But I will use it for some experiment with myself. Okay, and at the end of experiment, can be only two things: either you succeed or you fail. Okay, if you fail, you have experience. If you succeed, nothing happier than that. No examination is needed then to prove that you can do it. Okay, so that, and that you should do it. It's up to a stage, like if you lost completely, also the worst case scenario, plan for the worst case. If you fail in that worst case, nothing will affect you, your personal life. Okay, and if you can do it that number of times, worst case scenario planning, and if you manage to manage for the worst case, and if you're above your worst case, you're doing something really good. Okay, and that is what help you build. That's how I started my journey. Like my first journey was food delivery. Okay, delivering food, something what Zomato and Swiggy is doing, but it was way before what they were doing. And I was doing a late night food delivery. After my office days, I had set up my own kitchen, and this it was like with small investment. And being an engineer, sitting in the office and working, it was comfortable space. But going into an open public and talking with people and convincing someone to buy even a 10 rupees ice cream was something was that I never done that before, and that I had to test, can I do it? The experiment was successful. I was able to get some 100 orders with zero marketing, and with all my hard work, whatever I can put into that. And that was a first point I understood, like I can do it, something with that. And then was like planning it way better than that. And that's how my journey started. And it's all, and the last point and how to go it, the finally a full scale, if you want to go it. See, that is one of the standpoint what I have seen, that experience it. And this, just imagine your monthly expenses are 50,000. I'm just giving an example, 50,000. It can be a random number for everyone, 50,000. And today with your salary, what you are getting, it's 50,000. You are able to work out very well for your life. Just imagine if you can get 50,000 from the work what you're doing, what you want to do, and you're doing that, and you're getting the same 50,000. And in today's case, starting at like a side project and taking it step by step, you can surely get to that stage. And if you know, like next 6 months also, I'm going to get that 50,000, I'm confident about that, and that is the best time you should think of. Like first thing, get that 50,000 for 6 months, so that you are consistent with that, and you know the hardship what it takes. And I think that is a good time you can think of going at a full scale mode and just focusing on that.
No, that's really wonderful, and especially a great advice for somebody who's a budding entrepreneur, or also somebody who's already into the industry and not working in a startup case, but doing that. And it is interesting to know. So before I ask my next question, which is an interesting one, what is your role at Pacify Medical Technologies, and what stage is the company at? Is it because it is helping everybody? So is it profitable right now, or it is in the growth phase? We'd like to know about that.
Okay, so first of all, my role in Pacify is very simple. very simple. It's like giving a resource. It's to my team members, environment and resource, so that they can perform well or they can perform to their fullest. Okay, so whatever they needed. So
Mhm.
getting that resource in place. So that is my support system. What I normally work,
Mhm.
and the personal work for me is, other than the operation part, is talking with my customers, understanding on the use case, how they are doing it, and then planning for the next stage of growth for the company. It can be from fundraising, it can be talking with someone, key partners for us. So if and to
Mhm.
summarize that in three things: growth, sell, talking to customers, and then operations. So this is my responsibility at the current stage of the company where we are. Since we are a medical device company or biotech, the development phase is way longer than a
Yeah.
standard other e-commerce or a SaaS based company, like software based
Mhm.
companies, because the
Yeah.
development stage take time. There are certifications, there are a number of things to be done. It's like
Mhm.
simply to put in together, it's like developing a vaccine. As everyone was aware with
Mhm.
COVID vaccinations, it took like many months when a person like us to get an vaccine.
Mhm.
So it should go through all that stages to get to the customers. So
Mhm.
currently we are at the growth stage
Mhm.
where we have some pilot trials going with this hospitals, and then it is like getting that data and to prove it to a larger audience, like what you
Mhm.
are doing, it's really helpful, and to convince the next person in the line, like you
Mhm.
can also, they get an confident, like they like to use the device for their practice.
Mhm. That's great. And would you say you are the only founder, or do you have some co-founders or silent investors, or?
Right. So it's like I'm not the only founder. I have co-founder with me. My co-founder is Anmol, uh, who looks after the R&D part of this. My other team member is Rayan, who looks after the design and manufacturing side and testings of that. So that helps me to focus on the other sides of the this work. They are working on the development sides, and they are very focused on that, and that's give me like a room for focusing on development growth stage.
Mhm. That's wonderful. So, yeah.
And
So,
the last thing is other than this, advisors play a key role when it is a tech company, especially a deep technology, where there are like number of phases in this. Like I'm working on skin, so it's like tissue engineering coming in. I'm working on devices, so it is electromechanical systems. Then it is a medical device. Then it is like manufacturing. It's product engineering. So there are a number of factors put together. So there are advisors in this field who are helping
mhm.
us, who has done that already, and that
Mhm.
their experience helped us like to overcome challenges more like easily. Like they can tell me like saying the next challenges will be next two three things, and that
Mhm.
helps us to prepare well before the challenges arise.
Mhm. No, that's wonderful. And
Yeah.
especially, it is a strong team that leads any product to be successful and be impactful to such a large population. Um, and so, coming back to the story, and so you said that you started with 5,000 rupees, and now you are here winning a number of awards and traveling places, and actually gathering information and knowledge through different parts of the world, and hopefully creating a device that is not bounded by just the geographical location and can be used on a worldwide population. That's really wonderful. So how has your experience been, since I've seen that the skin spray gun won the first prize during the AKIIC. So can you share something about that? That has been, I believe, the most recent accomplishment of the device.
Yeah, sure. So, first of all, along the journey, if I tell what is helping me as a person, and
Yeah.
this, if it's for anyone, it's in a one word is persistent. Like when you're trying to do unconventional thing, people will always question you, always question you. It is not like, and I will take it in other way. If your people are not questioning you, you're not doing something. Like I will take it like I'm not developing something. It is like someone who has done worked on some field already, and you're doing the same. Okay, fine. If people should question you, they should doubt your work, or they should question you more, and that is their interest. See, there can be. Yeah, I remember in college days also, if a professor is teaching really well, question will come more from the students. If and if there can be only other way, like the students already know the concept, or professor is not teaching and like not able to convey the information, then there will be no questions. So
Yeah.
questions will be there. People will ask you questions, and persistence is only what I can tell you, which keeps on going. Waking up in the next morning to solve unsolved questions of last night, and talk about the recent achievements and this. See, I can tell you achievements and this. Since I am also a follower of cricket, and this to keep it very lame and simple, I like to give an example of cricket, because 90% people follow what I know, like cricket in India. So if someone asks Sachin Tendulkar, Virat Kohli, or some batsman, like when you get in the middle of the ground, in that how you plan for your hundreds, okay. The answer was very simple. Great batsman told, like it's really difficult for anyone to plan for a century as soon as you get in that, because anything can happen. I don't know who's the next bowler, where he's going to pitch, and nothing is done. So it is. He told a very simple thing. It's like what I do is, whenever a single ball comes to me, I try to focus on that ball at a time, and what I can make a use of that ball to the best of my knowledge and skills. Journey in this is also same thing. Waking up in the morning, and just putting the time, like what I can use the best resource now to do it. And awards and accomplishment keeps on coming somewhere or other times, if we are performing on our best. So AKIC and this that has given me a good platform. Like just to give, it will be like some plastic surgeon 4 5 years back. He has met me in some conference. He is reaching me on WhatsApp. Sai, I heard your name on something. Is it you? I told, yeah, it's me. Really good to know, like you're pursuing that solution till such a level, not like something like your master's project, it closed down in 6 months. Okay. So prizes and this helps like a young startup team to give a promotional platform, so that world recognize our efforts. And other than that, it also gives us like the motivation to perform more harder or more concentrated way, so that we can maintain the things what we are able to achieve till now. And the other thing, what one of my senior advisors in this field, being in this industry for 20 plus years, he told, "Sai, prices will come for that moment, it's fine. But what the customers feel, what your doctors feel, and what your patients are doing, that is a real accomplishment." So on that terms, see, it's seniors like that always help me to keep me grounded. Okay. My professor helped me to keep me grounded. And I'll tell you, the real joy I can tell you was when our device was used for the first time on the patients, and patient heals completely. And
That is the true achievement.
the happy, and when the surgeon, yeah, and when that surgeon tells about to the patient, like this is the work what this team is doing, and because of their efforts, that helped me to give power in my hand, the tools in my hand, so that I can use it. Okay. And that was the real satisfaction. You can think of like something we are able to make a tiniest change in someone's life, or some we are able to save someone in their emergency case. And then from a doctor's point of view also, the satisfaction what they see after using something, like, because a surgeon's work is not that easy when it's really concentrated. Sometimes I feel like even if I had a headache or something, I will close down my laptop for this. I can work for the other day because it is not that emergency. But for a surgeon, it is they don't have that uh, uh, what decisions to make. Like they can make operate the surgery the next day because they are not feeling good or something. They don't have that luxury in their field. They should operate at that point, and that's no holidays as such when it is a case of emergency. And I see that like in that tense moment, a device like this is making them life easier and happier, and there is no satisfaction other than that. Being to a person who is focused in product development, then that is the real satisfaction what we get.
Mhm.
And that is also when we discuss internally with our teams, like yes, we are able to do that. So that
No,
is all the real satisfaction.
completely agreed upon, and especially, like for me or for anybody here hearing and watching this podcast, even listening about these accomplishments makes us feel so better as a human, that yeah, there are people who are creating technology which is helping advance medical science, making things better, making the healing time faster, so that people, because of some mishap, they do not have to lose up on the precious time of life, and they can come back and do the things that they love to do as they were before any incident that happened with them. That's wonderful. And
Right, and this also, just to add on that,
yeah,
this
yeah.
also helps not just a patient as an individual, it also helps our army force or armed forces.
Hmm.
Okay, because our armed forces also undergo like face this kinds of injury on daily basis uh, on the ground, and for them also technology like this helps to treat wounds faster so that they can get recovered faster and back to their work and help us to protect the nation. So, because I got some recognition from Ministry of Defense production for this works, and I can from that I can also understand uh, the how time is important for someone in the battlefield too.
Hmm.
Yeah,
No, agreed upon completely. But along with that, a lot of our people would be curious to know what are like the top accomplishments that you have received. Like, can you describe a little more about this Ministry of Defense accomplishment? And I also know the IDEA2 program that you were selected for, which was by MIT in the US. So, just something about the accomplishment so that people get to know and can maybe visit those program websites and see what is happening around the world, and maybe that will trigger that innovation fire in them to pursue their dreams.
sure. And to add with that, I like to also add the support system what are available in India for pursuing
Mhm.
someone in this path. Because the next question is like,
Yeah.
I also want to do something, but what is a support system where I can get it?
Yes.
So, first, I shall show you the big picture today, what I am able to explain. Then I will tell you how it was possible.
Yeah.
Okay. So, talking about the big picture, first of all, people's the psychology of especially people's around us, like India में तो US वाला ही बिकता something from the western region which they are developing, it's been sold in India. Other way around तो far तो ऐसा भी होता है क्या? Then the question is it really possible? So to give you in that, it's possible. First of all,
Yeah.
if you pursue the problems to a larger scale, like the real problem, not just mimic someone who has done in other part of the world, then it's really possible. Okay, and then there is support system. Like I selected for this MIT IDEA2 program. So there are 11 teams to be selected. So
Hmm.
other team members in my are from Europe or from US. I'm one of the startups from India to be selected for that. Then recently I was selected for one of the other program, the M2D2 Impact. So it is also based in Boston. 10 teams were selected. We are on only the team from Asia to be selected in that. Other 9 teams are either from US or Europe. So it all depends on the level of work what you're doing, the problem, the scale what you're solving upon. Then since this was in the current pandemic stage. I'm attending everything online, but before pandemic, there will be a sponsorship for us to visit the country for depending on number of days the program is. So one of the program I visited was in Switzerland. It was supported by DST, Department of Science and Technology, and SwissNext. SwissNext is a Swiss embassy, the network in India. So they sponsor us to visit Switzerland for a week time, and the whole thing was sponsored by them. I should not invest anything in that. And not only sponsorship, it was also networking, and they will ask me whom I am to meet, and they will try to make you use their government connections to make a network for me.
Wow,
Just
that's
imagine,
wonderful.
I'm talking with in Indian ambassador in US, in Switzerland, and they are coming there to welcome us. Just imagine someone is waiting for me to welcome that also at such a higher level in the authority, and just a young person like me. And that it's only possible when you're doing something which people care for, or doing something. So there are a number of support available in outside India for Indian companies too. Now talking of India, this could not be possible to reach US and Europe first. If I could not get a support in India. So in India, at a national level support, there are government grants which they give you money, like the government supports through our income tax, like tax what they collect to develop innovations and solutions. So there are a number of grants. So supporting organizations like BIRAC, it's like Department of Biotechnology, because I'm in medical device. They are there. So there is DHT support. NIDI is the NIDHI. You can, if you Google it, there are supports starting from 10 lakhs to 50 lakhs, 1 crores, 2 crores, 5 crores, and even till 7 crores money they give us for developing this. And then there are foundations also there, like there are Millennium Alliances there. Then there are some dual nation like Indo-US challenge will be there. Who will support you around 1 crore money, Indian money. There will be dual nations between India and Korea, India and Israel, India and many other students, Italy. So there are supports from international organizations also for doing a bilateral work. And then there are like Bill Gates, Melinda Gates or Bill Gates Foundation. Then there will be then there are supports from like it all depends on the areas what you are working. So supports are different in different areas. It can be for anything from education, sanitation, waste, many things, energy and electric vehicles. It depends on the area what you are working. So Grand Challenge Canada was the one support what they provide around 20-25 lakhs money. So there are IIGP is something. Then there are incubators. So there are top India's incubators, like where I am incubated here in IIT Bombay in Mumbai. So there is Venture Center Pune, which I am also the part of the C Camp in Bangalore. And so different geographies of India. There are incubators, CIE in Ahmedabad, Startup Oasis in Rajasthan, which they are supporting me in this. So the first thing is to be in the good environment of them, so that you come to know, get aware of the support systems, what they are there to start with. So if you are just in Pune, just go down to a venture center on Parson Road, and then that can be a starting point for everything. So it depends on the geography where you are. And it is not like everyone should travel to Pune. You can just check it out, TBI, Technology Business Incubators in India. Then recently I was a part of AIM Prime, it's Atal Innovation Mission. So they are also supporting NITI IDEA2 is supporting me on the understanding on the commercialization part. They're helping to get some good mentors, Indians who are like a Stanford professors who are doing good work at the international stage to support innovation in India. And then now the first point comes, everything is there are supports how to start with that, how to find out problems to come
Yeah,
with that.
because these are some great
Then
resources. Yeah, sorry. These are some great resources about the startup ecosystem right here in India itself, because many people have a perception is that maybe I have an idea and I have the motivation, but I do not know of the resources. So these are some great resources which will start not just as a starting point, but actually the right points wherein they can go ahead, see how it all works, and then actually find like-minded people, connect with them, work on it. And yeah, that will be really great.
right. I also came across some. I also have idea, but I don't have money. This is a
Hmm.
common.
Yes.
I have a $1 billion idea, but I don't have money. Who will support me? So there are fellowships now to keep it. Fellowships are something like they will give you a salary for working on some problem. Okay,
Mhm.
maybe a problem, what the idea, what you have, and they will support you from for financial support as a salary and some support for your development, like a 10 lakh support for the development and some 30-50,000 as a salary.
Mhm.
This all incubators runs a fellowship first of all,
Mhm.
and they have calls open twice or thrice in a year. Their fellowship, social alpha is one in Delhi, which have some fellowship open currently for
Mhm.
climate change. It can be for some other fields, depend from field to field. So these fellowships are really helpful. Then where I started my journey, BETIC, BETIC, they also have fellowship opens. And then there are hackathons. You can take parts in the hackathons because hackathons are the part, because see, to develop something on your own is really difficult. You can be a
Mhm.
very good in XYZ field, but there, if you have some complementary person who is helping with other parts, like example, I'm a mechanical engineer. I need a electronics. Instead, I learn electronics, then apply it. If I get an electronics engineer who is
Hmm.
equally passionate like me, it's really helpful. I can build up faster things. So to get a person like that, where to search it. So hackathons are the part really helpful. So uh, BATIC has annual hackathons like MEDA is a medic. MEDA and medics are for medical device. So there are hackathons by IKP in Hyderabad. There are hackathons in Bangalore, like in Karnataka. And so different regions has their hackathons in a year. You can keep an eye
Mhm.
on that when is the next hackathon coming up, and try to reach out to people who are the winners of that hackathon. They will always publish the winners and understand what helped them in that
Mhm.
hackathon. Should we participate in that? How to participate? Can you guide me on participating in that? Okay,
Mhm.
so talking with the previous participants always help to
Mhm.
understand. So if someone reach out to me, how is your experience with BETIC? What help BETIC help you with BTIC?
Mhm.
Really helpful because I can give you first-hand knowledge. It's not like third and what I heard of because I
Mhm.
experienced that. I can tell you about that.
Mhm.
So there are international hackathons. Currently, MIT has hackathons. Even like Indians participate. I was also one of the participants there for
Mhm.
one of the hackathons. So hackathons is the starting point where we can get team up with equal, like likely minded peoples, and then go apply for a fellowships, and then how the journey can start about
Mhm.
this. And see, having an idea is a good thing, but problem is more important. It can put you just think another way. First, find out solid problem, and then make an idea to solve that problem. It's not about having idea, then finding a problem where this
Yeah.
idea fits on that problem.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's what I see in most of the startups what I worked with, and this it was first the problem they identified, then they find out the idea to solve that problem. Okay,
Mhm.
and that was because finding a person facing that problem was easy. Then finding a person fitting with that idea will be a difficult.
Mhm. And that will also give a wrong case if somebody it just has created a technology and maybe you're trying to complicate a problem with complicate a solution for a problem which could otherwise have been solved much easier. Like for example, technology
Hmm.
like using the most latest buzzword technology, like not necessarily the right solution for a particular problem, because you're trying to fit in an existing technological solution to a problem instead of solving a problem using a particular technology. That's a great point.